Alright everyone, welcome back to hiding next to a torch from all the monsters that are on this planet and are extremely scary and frightening. And I should have grabbed one of those tents when I was back there, one for me to just pop down and use whenever it's nighttime, make a little shelter. But it didn't occur to me when I was back there. I'll get one when I go back. Those tents are really nice. I don't know if there's any real benefit to having them besides that they heal you when you sleep in them, like a bed or something. But they're really just they're grade A. They're grade A good stuff. I'm not quite sure if I've decided while we're waiting here for the sun to come out. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to build a house on this planet yet. As you've noticed, I've been storing everything in my ship. My ship is my home currently, but I'd like to make a planet my home. I just don't know if this is the one. It's like, you ever watch any of those shows where people are like trying to figure out what house is right for them? That's what this is, except with planets. Like, if I were to choose a planet, this one has enemies that are really annoying to hit with swords. See, look at those little bastards. I imagine every planet has those, but come on. Look at how tiny, look at how, like, low to the ground he is. For overhead swings, that's gonna be hell. And that is probably foreshadowing for when this bastard comes down and murders the hell out of me. Good old iron ore. You know, I had a friend, or I still have a friend, but I have a friend who still calls it iron ore, like his Brooklyn parents. They kept calling it iron, and like every time he'd talk about iron, I thought he was talking about a guy named like Iron or Ivan or something, and that's just the way he pronounced it. And it really, like, at a certain point I was like, what are you saying? Like, I had to be honest with him. I have no clue what you're talking about. And he was like, oh, you know, iron, it's on the periodic table, it's an element. And it was like, I'm afraid I don't understand. What are you talking about? And he was like, you know, people made swords with them and things like that. I'm like, oh, you mean iron? And he was like, what did you call it? It's just, no one you know has pronounced it iron. Is this just occurring to you? This is in high school, by the way. It's not like he's just randomly figuring out about this in middle school. He legit did not know that it was pronounced iron. Fucking iron. And maybe it's not. Maybe I'm in error here, and like there are many pronunciations for it. The real one, and I didn't even realize this, is like Iran. But I have no clue how to pronounce most things, so that could be accurate. God, I love this Hulk flashlight. How many other flashlights do I have in here? I'm just gonna dual-wield flashlights. We're going to a rave. Wait, does this make an orange beam? This is beautiful! I kinda want to test this out. Oh, it's daytime out. Guess I can test. Oh, shit. I'm just gonna try and sneak out of here. Actually, there is no way to sneak out of here. I'll take my way out. Hopefully they won't notice me. I'm afraid of nighttime mobs just because my armor isn't all that great yet. But soon it will be. And what I mean by soon is like 20 episodes from now, considering how things are going. Alright. Hopefully not that much. Hopefully most of those things despawned and it was only the ones that were on my screen that stayed. Because I'd like to keep exploring this world. I'd like to circumnavigate the globe. Oh, that's another thing that peeves me. How do people... Well, besides people who use the word peeve as a verb. But, how do people, how is it that there are people who have trouble with, like, economics classes or logic classes? Like, logical thinking should be something that comes naturally to you. People in the people 300 years ago who didn't have common sense died. Because you need common sense. You need to have to understand stuff. And economics is a course on common sense. Believe me, I have taken that course. I've taken a high school economics course, and everything I've learned in it is, hey, Logan, did you hear about, like, do you understand how to do, just a second, let me kill these things and I'll continue angrily ranting about economics. Oh, god damn it, they jump like that and then they get caught in the cave and I have to kill them while jumping. Haha! Where's my whole flashlight? There we go. The whole, oh, whoa! Yeah, you back off, punk. Yeah, you know what's what. In economics, like, there are very simple questions and things that you have to answer. It's like, oh, it's like, when do you buy stocks? When the market is crap and stocks are extremely cheap? Or when every company's doing extremely well and we're in a bull market, which is what the, like, stocks are constantly rising is the bull market. And people are like, oh, I know, I'll buy it when everything's good. And I won't risk my money on stocks that are, like, really crappy. But it's like, it's not that the stocks are crappy, it's that the economy's going through a rough patch. Like, why wouldn't you... Oh shit, he just stopped moving in the middle of my fighting him. Why would you stop investing in something merely because we're in a bear market, which is when everything's constantly decreasing? And, like, not every company is gonna go downhill and go bankrupt. You can easily predict which ones are going to stay fine from, like, as long as you're experienced with the subject of which they're working on. Like, I remember people, my uncle, for instance, he would invest in he was a, what are those people called, the daytime investors, where they keep they invest in things and then sell them like 2 seconds later for a slight profit on the market. And, like, it worked out for him at the beginning, but then he got addicted to risk-taking, which happens to some people. Some people cannot take the stock market. If they get addicted, they're like, I need to do this. It's like, it's the only way I feel anymore. And, I mean, like, I understand if it's a hobby, but you can't let it take control of your life. And he started doing it, and he started losing money, and he started losing so much more money than he had even gained, and we had to be like, dude, you gotta stop. And he was like, alright, I'm done. And later he sees, like, the companies that he had currently or previously sold stock from. He was like, oh, these companies, I got money off of them last time, I should get money off of them this time. But he was completely unaware of their economic state, so he bought them extremely cheap during the bear market, which that sounds good, right? You're getting them cheap. But if you don't know about the market, you don't know if it will survive the drop in stocks, and it didn't. The stocks, all of the companies he invested in died. They were done. They were finished almost days after he had invested in them, and he lost all of that money. Oh, what's the... A little flower person! Hi! Are you friendly or foey? Hello? Green fingers, say, glitch, our kin from another bin. Whoa. Whoa. I was completely wrong. They're not Indians, they're gangsters. Gangster plant people. What's the name of this episode? Oh, but... boy, do I ever enjoy playing video games. And I feel like I was just talking about... Wait, what was I just talking about? I might have cut off in the middle of making a point. Oh, shit, right. Economics. Sorry, I have a tendency of rambling. Economics. Common sense. He bought a market that he didn't... into a market he didn't understand and lost almost all of his money. That was not... Yeah, that was his fault. Oh, I mean, he's my family, and I have to say, that's his fault. You shouldn't invest in something you don't understand. Like, right now, we're in a bull market. buying stocks right now as a daytime trader would work well, but at the same time it's very dangerous. Like, I wouldn't even do it. It's too difficult to predict. Simply too difficult to predict. And I'm not a fan of, well, jumping into something without knowing whether or not it'll succeed. And you never know if something's going to succeed. So there's a certain amount of skill to everything, like the stock market and gambling even. But at the end of the day, there is a lot of luck still in that, and you gotta take that into account too. I'm sure anyone who hasn't taken economics is just like, you are rambling like an idiot. And to anyone who has taken economics, they're probably like, you are rambling like an idiot. Floor and love glitch forever. Good. They know me to be their Oh, do you mind if I bunk with you for the night? I'm gonna stay in here. Mind if I sleep in your bed? Yeah, you don't mind. Alright, that's perfect. You are a great host, you know that? You don't even care that I'm You guys don't have weapons. How are my plant friends going to survive without weapons? They have made my robot heart grow 2 molds on this day. I will protect these people. They are under my protection. God damn. These beautiful plant bastards. Just look at them. I'm definitely not stalling for time because I'm afraid of going outside in the dark. More about economics! So, if you thought the last conversation about economics was boring, let's talk about this one. Football players, really good at economics. Like, you'd think that it'd be all the super nerdy kids, people like me. I mean, I'm alright at it, but I definitely have trouble if I were to ever pursue a career in it without studying. But I swear, if there's anything football players understand, it's risk-taking. Because think about it, whatever you got on that field, you have to learn a lot of things. You have to understand the risks. You only have 4 plays before you have to hand over the ball or get a first down. So you have, every second of thought counts. You have to understand the risks. Not to mention also the physical risks, like you could break limbs and things like that. You have to know when and when not to do something. Of course, I've never played football as a professional player or anything like that, or even on my a football team. I've only ever played it with my friends for sport, but it's football players have to understand risk, and I tell you right now that the highest grades in my economics class currently, every football player in the class, and the kid who sits behind me, who is probably like Captain fucking literal about everything, but he's also, the thing about Captain Common Sense over there is that please stop trying to open that door, sir. You're going to get us killed. The thing about those wait, why would the plant people live in the only snowy region on the map? Is it that, like, plants can't grow in snow, stupid? Don't you give me that look. Oh, yeah, you're like, oh, you're making a good point. Maybe we shouldn't have moved out here. Maybe you shouldn't have. I mean, you can't even... Oh. Okay.